Hi there, Fight Fantasy Fight UK, back on the video. So, Chris Eubank Jr. Now, like, it's kind of embarrassing how he keeps bringing up big fighters' name and trying to ride coattails of fighters that he has no intention of fighting. So, Ben Shalom, obviously it wasn't Chris Eubank Jr. himself. I believe it was Ben Shalom saying that that he was in talks with Canelo for a fight with Chris Eubank Jr. And then with Eddie also shut that down. Like, said, nope, we're not talking to him. I'm paraphrasing here. We're not talking to him. We gave him his opportunity in September. All he did was complicate negotiations. And so we'd never do business with him. Didn't give him an opportunity. So that fight happening next or ever, we can just shut that down. Like, I remember maybe 6-7 years ago, he was talking about fighting Triple G. That never happened. He was meant to fight. I remember when he fought Spike O'Sullivan. That whole fight was for him to fight Danny Jacobs next after that fight. We had a WBA regular belt, I think, at the time. And that's what that fight was for. So, and that fight never happened. Every time he's meant to step up to someone who's a big name in sport boxing, it goes missing. I'm not saying he's afraid to fight these people, but there's something right here because it just, it's King Yank's IBO titles, and I understand it is an actual world title. Yeah, by definition, it's a world title. It's a world governing body. It's a world title, but it's not recognized within the sport as a world title. It's not recognized as a world title. Like, it is, but it's not recognized as one of those. There's no one ever goes, I want to unify with the IBO champion. No, you just get the belt, sort of thing. So, like, no one's ever gonna want a reunification with IBO. That's not happened yet. It might happen somewhere down the line, but as we speak right now, no. So, can we say it's been a legitimate world champion by a recognized belt, especially with the name? If you're someone like average or like me, and I went to try and fight for that, that's I can say I'm a world champion, blah blah blah. But someone who is of that ilk, who's got that name, Chris Eubank Jr., that your father was a great, everyone respects your father, and so you've got a lot to live up to, innit? So then, when you don't have these big fights, these career-defining fights, what happens? Because all you've had is British guys, George Groves, Billy Joe Saunders, who you both lost to. Anytime you want to step up to fight anyone else, like, your biggest win to this date, this biggest win is a rematch with Liam Smith. Even though Liam Smith knocked you out the first time, and the second one, obviously Liam Smith, no excuses made, but obviously he was overweight. He was quitting weight for most of his camp, and the injury that caused him to put the weight on. So he was making weight most of his camp rather than working in his camp. So it's 1-1. You haven't really avenged that. It's one apiece. So therefore, you need to have a rubber match. You need to put that to bed. Chase. It just seems like to me chasing the money, chasing these kind of Ben fights still after 2 years of it being in. It's gone by that quick. It's been 2 years since that fight was even talked about. We're going to be talked about and made and whatever. No one really wanted it, but everyone saw the money they can make from it, the money they can generate from it. The names, the father's name, Ben and Eubank being linked again in this era, like, it's an opportunity. It's a business opportunity. And I understand that. I understand business. And at the end of the day, if you're a fighter, get in the sport and make as much money as possible. But at the same time, do you want to have a legacy? do you want to be someone? Someone say, oh yeah, man, the reason why I got into this sport because of Chris Eubank Jr. because he made legacy. There's no one gonna be saying that because, like, I can say his father influenced me into fighting. Not just that I didn't make it, but his father influenced me. They're both of their father influenced me into boxing, especially in the UK, because that's who I grew up on and who I watched. You know, that's the era I came from. Like we got Harold Graham, Nigel Benn, Chris Eubank Jr., Michael Watson, Frank Bruno, Lennox Lewis. Those are people that we watched from the UK a lot. Prince Nazim. That's who the people we watched when we were growing up in it. Mainly the big names. And he's not had no career defining fights. Like, when's that gonna happen? Like you flirt with this idea of fighting Canelo, and you had the opportunity. With Edwin Belanga, and the thing you say you don't want to pay. It's not a fair payday, but the reason why the stumbling block happened last time when you were negotiating, a lot of it, reports were that it was to do with money. So the thing is, you're already wealthy, Chris Eubank Jr. So what is it's not money you need. So you already make a lot of money. You already make a lot of money in these fights, and you just bounce around from different promoter to different promoter and call them more scumbags. But the thing is, there's no smoke without fire. Like Eddie Van also saying, it's got no allegiance to you, it's got no reason to say or lie about you or whatever, in my opinion. So why would he say you made the negotiations worse? You held the negotiations, so that shows to me there's something to be said about when Frank Warren said it, Eddie Hearn said it, they're difficult to work with. And now his dad's not even around him, he's difficult to work with. So there's an arrogance there that he has when he hasn't proved himself in the sport. Like, instead of fighting Danny Jacobs, going back to Danny Jacobs thing, instead of fighting Danny Jacobs, he fought Nick Blackwell for the British title. And he could have done that any time in his career, he could have done that at the beginning of his career, he could have chased that from the beginning. But they were saying that, he's this and that, and I felt, how he's athletically gifted, I believed it for a bit. But then when I started seeing the, certain things that he weren't, the one thing I won't say, I would say negative, I can't say negative about it. The man who trains, he's professionally stays in the gym, he looks after his body, you know what I mean? So he's always in shape. But the thing is, his fundamentals aren't the best. His athleticism is going to let him down. He's 35 now, so if his athleticism is going to last, probably not even going to last him another year or so. It's not going to carry him through. Fundamentals carry you through. If you have the fundamentals right, how can you even try and say you're a boxer? You're a fighter, but are you a boxer? There's a difference. And in the professional ranks, that's what it's about, fighting. So, but the thing is, you're doing the fundamentals to get you there. Fundamentals will take you around the world and take it and get you out of trouble. But if you haven't got them, you rely on your speed and your athleticism, then what you're gonna do? So for me, Chris Eubank Jr., he has damaged his legacy, and that's why I'm gonna title this. Chris Eubank Jr. has damaged his legacy because he has none. And this is not me. This is me as a boxing fan being harsh on someone. Like, I enjoy watching him fight. It's exciting to watch, but at the same time, he hasn't been there with anybody. Like the two people he stepped up against, they beat him, Billy Joe, and then George Grove beat him convincingly. And for me, it's like, so what have you been doing with your career? Like, you haven't cemented yourself as a legacy. So when you retire from the sport, no one's gonna say, he was a good champion. No one's gonna say that about him because he's like, and Billy Joe said this from a long time ago that he'll never be a world champion, and I am actually beginning to believe him now. because the clock is running really, really slow on this. Not really, but winding down on this. Sorry, the clock is running down on him. So, and no one beats Father Time. So it catches us all in every aspect. So let's see what happens. I've rambled on for too long, but let me know what you think in the comment section, guys. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and all that good stuff. I'm out.